Are you a human doing instead of a human being? Is your home a place of rest and recovery or a place of stress? Is it hard for you to turn your brain off when you get home? My name is Dr. Judith Joseph. I'm a board-certified psychiatrist, researcher, and author. And I'm a Time 100 creator, the only physician on the 2026 list. I focus and work with people who have trauma, anxiety, and high-functioning depression every day. That's my life's research. And I focus on helping them to develop tools to reclaiming their joy based on the science of happiness. In my practice, I'm hearing that it's really difficult for people to just relax and find peace at home. And I think I'm hearing this more today than 5 or 10 years ago. The reality is that the world is a much different place. We're much busier than we were 10 years ago. Why? Well, we have access to work all the time. Also, the world has way more distractions now. We have access to social media. So even if it's not work, we're constantly comparing ourselves to our friends, to our neighbors, to our family members. We're not able to shut off. In fact, studies show that most people can't relax when they get home. They carry a mental load. They're burdened with tasks. So their bodies come home, but their brains are still in the office. We all have to-do lists. I gotta feed the dog. I gotta make dinner. I gotta remember that birthday. I gotta pick up the dry cleaning. I gotta do laundry. I have to change the sheets. It just piles on and on. It's never ending. We have to acknowledge that. This is a mental burden. But we don't. We just think about work. I have a meeting next week. I have to do this task for my boss. I have a project due. But we invalidate the mental burden at home. All of these tiny tasks, all of these to-dos that are part of everyone's daily life, that creates a mental burden. And when we have so many things on our lists, we can get overwhelmed. It can actually make us feel paralyzed and stuck. So that it takes us even longer just to get one of those things off the list. We have to acknowledge that this is real. If you're listening and this is you, you are not alone. Most people feel this way. Most people are not even aware of the heavy mental burden that they're carrying due to these unfinished tasks at home. LG recently conducted a study that showed that people have 87 days a year where they're carrying a mental load. And 27 times a day, their thoughts are interrupted by these tasks. That's important. Why does this make sense scientifically? Well, in my work, studying the brain, I understand that the brain becomes overloaded. There's only so much you can do at one time. In fact, experts say that you should only be focusing on 1 or 2 tasks at a time. Think about 27 tasks at a time. No wonder we're feeling burnt out. No wonder home is not peaceful. But this is why it's so important. If you think about your brain as only having the capacity for 1 or 2 things at a time, if you're able to free your brain up so that maybe you can focus on joyful things instead, that's how you recover. That's how you create space for creativity, for things that you love, for things that allow you to rest with intention. So when we're able to address this mental load that most people are carrying, we're creating space for peace. We're creating space for opportunities to pursue the things that we really love, to spend time with the people that we love, like our family, our friends, and our pets. We're making home a happy place because it's less stressful. Guess what? A stressed brain has a really hard time accessing joy. But when a brain doesn't have stress, it accesses joy much easier. It's easier to be happy. And if we acknowledge that there are ways that we can take away that stress at home, then our home becomes more joyful. Our home becomes a happy, safe place, a place where we can recover, a place without stress. So there's a way to use technology to unburden us from constantly being on to the next, from constantly thinking about others. It's time to use tech to focus on ourselves and inward so that we find our peace and joy at home. When people think about AI, they think about, how can I be more productive? How can I get more done? I wish that they would think about AI as a way to decrease the mental load, to get rid of that mental burden, so that they have more time and space for joy. AI and technology is supposed to make your life easier, not make you more productive in terms of constantly doing, constantly being. At the end of the day, you are a human being, not a human doing. So AI should be allowed to create space for joy. That should be the purpose. If you strategically place things in your home to make your life easier, that mental load slowly goes away. When you come home, look around you. What are the appliances that you're using? What are the things in your environment that can actually lessen your mental burden? If you're not using those things, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity to reclaim your joy. Once people free up their minds, they're going to use that time for rest. They're going to use that time to spend with people that they love. They're going to spend time in nature. They're actually going to enjoy their home. They're going to love their space. They're going to feel at peace instead of feeling like there's constantly something to do. I'm here to tell you that if you can plan your joy, if you can plan your rest, if you do so with intention, you're going to live a happier life. Today, it's so important and critical to reclaim your mental space. So we have to be intentional about our home as a safe space. We have to plan our peace. We have to plan our rest. We have to plan our joy. And that's why it's more important today than ever before to surround ourselves with tools that allow us to decrease the mental load, to have less of a burden, less worries, less stress, and more time for joy and rest.